Picking up our reading in Journey Through the Text of A Course in Miracles. This is Chapter 3, The Innocent Perception, and we're on knowledge versus perception. The miracle is the question that leads us beyond itself to the answer that is beyond perception. Then we simply know. The miracle undoes the fear of the known by canceling our identification with time. The ego's unholy trinity of sin, guilt, and fear metamorphosed into past, present, and future. The questioning mind perceives itself in time and therefore looks for future answers. The closed mind believes the future and the present will be the same. This establishes a seemingly stable state that is usually an attempt to counteract an underlying fear that the future will be worse than the present. This fear inhibits the tendency to question at all. Again, when we ask Jesus' help to question our insane perceptions of reality, the fear that is born of separation dissolves into the timeless present, the holy instant, as our eyes slowly awaken from their dreams of fear. We thus return to the bridge of true perception that leads us home. This vision is not truth, but reflects it within the gentle advent that sees no separation among the seeming fragments of the sonship, perceiving the inherent sameness in the split mind of all God's sons, wrong-minded, right-minded, and decision-maker. We turn now to this holy vision as Jesus cautions against confusing true perception with knowledge, correction with fact, bridge with reality. True vision is the natural perception of spiritual sight, but it is still a correction rather than a fact. Spiritual sight is symbolic and therefore not a device for knowing. It is, however, a means of right perception which brings it into the proper domain of the miracle. A vision of God would be a miracle rather than a revelation. The fact that perception is involved at all removes the experience from the realm of knowledge. This is why visions, however holy, do not last. It is not the form of the vision that we want, something perceptual or external, but the content. Much later in our symphony, Jesus applies the same caution, reminding us that the notes of heaven's song, the specifics are nothing, for it is the abstract song itself we want. The song is the peace of God that is beyond perception, and it is this that is our true goal. Can any transient experience here, however joyful, be preferable to heaven's eternal peace? Perception, miracles, and doing are closely related. Knowledge is the result of revelation and induces only thought. Even in its most spiritualized form, perception involves the body. Knowledge comes from the altar within and is timeless because it is certain. To perceive the truth is not the same as to know it. To return to this essential point, we need to begin in the perceptual world, where we believe we are, and we learn first how to achieve the reflection of knowledge, the stepping stone that leads us home. These stepping stones involve shifts in how we perceive each other. Rather than using relationships as the means of expressing the ego's belief in separation, we see them now, following our new teacher, as means of reflecting heaven's oneness, expressing in form the important shift in mind from the perception of separate to shared interests. This is the essence of the following passage. Right perception is necessary before God can communicate directly to his altars, which he established in his sons. There he can communicate his certainty, and his knowledge will bring peace without question. God is not a stranger to his sons, and his sons are not strangers to each other. If you attack error in another, you will hurt yourself. You cannot know your brother when you attack him. Attack is always made upon a stranger. You are making him a stranger by misperceiving him, and so you cannot know him. It is because you have made him a stranger that you are afraid of him. Perceive him correctly so that you can know him. There are no strangers in God's creation. To create as he created, you can create only what you know, and therefore accept as yours. God knows his children with perfect certainty. He created them by knowing them. He recognizes them perfectly. When they do not recognize each other, they do not recognize him. We are going to go ahead and stop there today. We will pick this up tomorrow. I hope that you have a most beautiful day, and I will see you then. I love you. Thank you for joining with me.